Hi, this is a very quick video to tell people what I'm doing in case you're wondering why I haven't posted for a bit. I'm taking a bit of a break from war games. World War III game didn't turn out the way I wanted to. It did end up with a lot of stalemates, and I just wasn't having any fun with it in the end, so that's gone off to one side. This game is Hexplore. I'm not sure who produces it, to be quite honest. It doesn't really matter. Which is it's a game that sort of is based on stuff like Roombound, if anyone's ever played that. But it's actually a better game than certainly Roombound 2 and Roombound 3. It's just a dungeon crawl, except you're not going through a dungeon, if that makes any sense. You're crawling across the land itself, fighting monsters and bosses and doing quests and facing encounters and things like that. If you look at it, the quality of the stuff, it's really nice. This is the second edition. Don't get the first edition. This is the Valley of the Dead King, which is the first module in the system. Yeah, don't get the first edition. It's nowhere near as good quality. The actual map is looks really awful and stuff like that. It's gradually been upgraded over the time. It's not. It's been criticised for not having brilliant art work in certain areas. You've got your card backs here, which are pretty generic. Um, Encounters originally were very generic, but they've actually upgraded all those, so you've got artwork on those. You've got artwork on all the bosses like this, which is fair enough. It's really nice, and you've got artwork all on the back of the actual sheets for your character, which is beautiful artwork. But it's just a shame that you don't see any of it when you're actually playing. It's got quite an interesting world. You've got a storybook that expands the world, giving you more background to everything, gives it a bit more meat. You've got this came with a base game, and there's an extension or an expansion, which is a return to the Valley of the Dead King. And it's also got things like living card decks and that encounter deck, which is an expansion. The objective basically is you've got to defeat the Dead King, and the Dead King comes on the board. That's one of my miniatures. It's not the miniature that comes with the game, and you really just go around the world doing all these quests and adventures until you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then when you're strong enough to fight the Dead King, you go for it. But there's like a timer. The Dead King is moving around, and if he conquers all the cities, there's like these 5 cities on the board, if he just conquers all those cities, you lose. And also if he catches you via various cards or circumstances early on and defeats you, he also wins the game. Anything else I'd like to say about it? Yeah, there is this thing here, which is Clicks Madness, which is the expanded campaign that comes with this particular module. There's 3 other modules, but this thing is just a massive, massive role-playing campaign, which I do want to have a crack at next. Because this game here is a bit, even though I've played this before, I've never really got that far with it. I've always been sort of put off by what appears to be quite a difficult game. It's not as difficult. When you first start out and you're looking at these quests and you're looking at the encounters, you're thinking, oh my god, how am I ever going to beat any of these? But as you progress through the game, you get stronger and stronger. So this particular thing here, I've already taken down my second boss quite cleanly. So there's up to 10 bosses. You go into these boss hexes, and your bosses, they get harder and harder. You go from 1 to I think it's 9. No, yeah, 9, and the Dead King being the 10th, which is the most difficult of all. So if you'd like Runebound, you'll like this. Don't be put off by the name, Hexplore it. A lot of people said it's a silly name. Don't be put off by some of the artwork on the back of the cards. It's an incredibly flexible system. Admittedly, using these, it uses dry white markers on these boards and everything. To be quite honest, I've started replacing these slightly with coins and food tokens, and I'll probably replace the vitality trackers with like health points and energy point markers, mainly because I get fed up of rubbing stuff out all the time. Right, anything else I'd want to say? Yeah, the system is incredibly flexible because you've got your base archetype, and then you can modify it by all these different races, so they all modify the base archetype, and you can also add on these traits which give even more flexibility to the build. And then once you've built it, it's up to you how you actually progress the character, which attributes you increase. It's very, very, very much under the control of the player. It's not something where you reach a certain level and then you get something specifically. You have got a huge amount of control over what you're doing, mainly because of the purchase. You can purchase stuff via golds, upgrades and stuff like that. You do pick up stuff for killing monsters, and you do pick up these upgrade cards which upgrade specific stuff. It's really something you have to try it yourself. It's not particularly expensive. If I was going to do it, I would get probably this module because it's got the simplest rules, and it's very easy to play, where some of the others have got a little more level of complexity, let's say. And you've got all the expansions, and if you're absolutely nuts, you can try this campaign as well. Right, that's it. Letting everyone know what I've been doing.